Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of How to Be a 3D Animator. So I'm finally back from the Bahamas, tanned and rested, and what I come back to, a brand spanking new League of Legends music video. Now you already know we're gonna react to this from an animator's perspective. I haven't looked at this, I haven't seen any reactions to this, so I have no idea what we're in for. But both as a fan of League and as a 3D animator, I can't wait to see what kind of bougie shit they came up with. So with that out of the way, make sure to absolutely smash that like button. And let's get some chills. Here we go. I have no idea what we're in for, but just like the first image, the first thing we see, I'm ready. I'm so ready. This looks like a war. This looks like a siege. Dude, I'm ready for the chills. Let's go. That's Garen. Lux. Oh shit. Oh my god. What is this? What? Ooh, is that's Urgot. Ezreal. The effects are amazing as usual. The VFX. Holy shit. That looks like Malzahar stuff. Oh no. Shit. Yeah, already got the goosebumps. Nothing's happened, but I already got the goosebumps. Okay. So we got Caitlyn versus Urgot. Goodbye. Animation's amazing as usual. Who's oh shit. Ezreal, what are you gonna do? Ah, you gotta help. Get out of here, kid. Oh my god. Oh shit, Urgot's free. Oh no. Her arm came off? Shit. I got like a second set of goosebumps. Oh my god. Always. Every single cinematic, I get goosebumps from League. It's crazy. Body mechanics, oh my god. I might go through this frame by frame again after the reaction's over, because it's so good. Oh shit. This arm gonna come off too? Oh my god. That's all she has. She just has two fists. How is she gonna fight now? Is she about to go Demacia? Ooh. All the ultimates are coming up. Demacia! Okay, okay. Oh shit. Damn. That's so cool. What is... Ooh. Okay. Third set of chills. Oh my god. There's so much to digest. Like, it's epic. It's just epic on epic on epic. Ah. Okay, I'm definitely gonna go through this. I want to like take this to sync sketch, go through like some of the animation stuff just to see like, I don't know. Oh shit, next one's playing. No. Oh my god. Okay, I'm all comfy now. I got my little tablet and pen, and we're just gonna get into it. I won't be talking about too much because I don't want this video to get too long. But I think I'll just like point out a few like cool things I've noticed, or maybe I don't know, maybe the animation's cool, and maybe we'll like draw over it and see what happens. I don't know yet. I'm just gonna go scrub through it, and maybe I'll put in the highlights into the video. So the very first thing that I just want to point out that I think it's cool is this scene where Lux notices that Garen's actually not safe and he's in danger. And we're just gonna rewatch this real quick. Okay, so just that, just what is this? So we go from frame 150. We'll start from here. From 255 to frame 277. So that's 1 second. That's essentially 1 second of animation. And in that 1 second, we go from we notice Lux's reaction. We see how like she goes from like relief to just pure panic, and it's so subtle. The animation's just like her head movements just moving like this. She comes forward, then like tilts down, and her expressions are, it's so subtle, but you still get like, you understand what's happening. You understand the fear that like she's imagining. So here I'll show you guys. So all that happens here is that she tilts her head upwards a little bit. Notice the immediate danger. Her eyes dart from here to up there, and her eyebrows, you guys can see, very subtly move to the corner or to the center of her brow and start creating creases there. Whoops. Start creating creases there. So within that 1 second, we notice this. Oops, I'm moving my screen. We notice this, the crest in between the eyebrows, and we see this little pinch here on the nose. And so you know the face is stressed at this point, and you see the jaw dropping to try and warn. So in 1 second we go from, oh my god, why is this being so? In 1 second we go from relief to notice danger and squint, then very subtly just like shock, eyes open, brow frowns, and the nose gets pinched and the mouth opens, and just that like 4 or 5 actions in like a second. You barely notice it, but you feel it. So if we play this real time, let me just play this one more time. And that's it. You're like, oh shit, because that's like pretty much where I got a goosebump too. Okay, I just thought that was cool, and I thought I just wanted to point that out for you guys. Okay, next really cool scene that I noticed is when Ezreal's panic running, and let's just play this once. She teleports, and he almost like, he teleports and he almost like falls and trips over himself just because of the speed that he's running at and just his panic. And the one thing I wanted to point out is, even though it's like a panic run, he's still shifting his weight left and right, trying to gain balance. And as he's shifting his weight around, we're gonna focus on his butt, and not for the reason you think. We're gonna talk about how he's shifting his weight and how his hip is moving. I don't know what thoughts went through your head. Okay, so here we have all his weight on this foot right now, because this feet is like lifted up, and the focus of like his weight is on this foot. And so of course we have this leg leaning this way, because if this leg was straight, he would be falling over this way. And so he's curving his body to bring his center of gravity to the middle, so he doesn't actually tip over. So he's panicking, but he's still trying to keep balance. And I know for a fact the animators who animated this recorded themselves, and so they probably did like a few recordings, and this one was like the best outcome, and so they went with this. And so naturally, when you do it yourself, you notice if you don't shift your weight to the other side, when one foot is off the ground, you tip over. Your body just naturally shifts. You don't even think about it. It's just like, it's muscle memory for your joints. So you learn that as a toddler not to fall over, and you're learning shifting your body as a toddler to not fall. And so what's happening here is tilting his body this way, since he has no support, little to no support on this side. And what else is happening is, since the focus of his weight is on one side, his hip will start to rotate this way. So instead of his hip being straight, it's tilted farther down this side and higher up on this side. And so if we go through this, he puts this foot down, and so now this foot is up, and so what happens is the hip rotates now this way, and he's just trying to keep his balance at this point. Shameless plug, since we're talking about hips and weight shifts, my last video was about weight shifts, and so there's a Gumroad link down below. You could get the lesson for $1, but it's not. It's free. You just type in free, and it'll give you $1 discount, so you can just download that in Gumroad for free. And it's essentially just an animation lesson on like how I go about animating weight shifts. So yeah, if you're interested in weight shifts, there's a link down below for free. Go check out how I animate weight shifts on characters. Okay, so with that out of the way, I just thought it was really cool how he's panic running and his hips just shifting left and right. And my last video was about weight shifts, so let's hop on to the next one. Okay, so here's another scene. It's a little like, it's like a small thing that I just noticed, and I thought it'd be cool to talk about. What happens is Urgot shoots his I'm pretty sure that's his ultimate. He shoots it into Vi's arm, into Vi's gauntlet, and what happens is there's a lot of motion blur. And so what happens is Urgot starts pulling on the gauntlet, and so Vi's arm starts moving by itself. So it starts being pulled, and it's not like affected by Vi's body. Instead, Vi's body is affected by the arm. And so we're just gonna talk about what happened there. So here, again, it's a lot of motion blur. It's a little blurry, but Vi gets pulled down by the arm, then the arm gets yoinked. By yoinked, I mean it gets pulled this way, and it pulls Vi with it, and so Vi goes like this, even though the arm is pretty much standing still. It's like her body moving and the arm is not being affected by the body. I don't know if you can see my arm. Yeah, you can see my arm. So what happened here is that what I'm assuming they did, so assuming like her arm is let's not worry about my really bad drawing. So we'll say that's her arm. It's really badly drawn arm, and we'll say that there is an arm controller here. And with the arm controller in most advanced rigs, you have an option for your IK. This will be an IK arm, inverse kinematic. That's what it stands for. So in this IK arm is most likely set to world. And what that means is that the arm is naturally usually on local, meaning if like the hip of the body moves, or if depending on like what it's set on, or if the chest of the body moves, then the arm moves with it. So in this case, they switched the IK arm to world. Now if you guys don't know what IKFK is, again, my entire channel is about 3D animation. There's videos on this that I made, so you guys can take a look at that if you don't understand. But essentially what it means is that nothing that the body can do will move the arm unless you yourself move this controller. So you move the controller, and you could move the body however you like, the arm will stay in the same spot. And so that's what I'm assuming they did here. They set the arm controller to the world and set a key on it here, and they move the body around that, because she's struggling to like move the arm, but the arm is standing still. Because otherwise, if they didn't do that, the arm would be going like this, and they would have to like set a key here, then when she moves here, they would have to set a key here. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. If you're animators, you do. Let's see what else we can digest. Alright, next, and I think maybe last cool scene, just because I feel like the video is getting a little longer than I wanted it to. This cool Superman punch. Now, you guys notice how it slows down here? So when she takes a leap, when she's mid-air, when she's at the top of her arc, which we'll talk about the arc, she's slowed down here. And then once she reaches this point, she just like, it speeds up, she gets the punch, she hits Urgot's, I don't know, like the guy's helping Urgot, and it just like speeds up and the motion blur starts up again. Now, I'm gonna be talking about a few things about that just in a second, so we're just gonna play it once. Slows down, speeds up. So, I just want to cover this. So what I'm assuming happened here, we're just gonna go through it frame by frame. And the animation is barely moving, and what's happening here is that when it slows down, Caitlyn actually lands a punch too, and so that's in slow motion too. And usually it's not frowned upon, but it's kind of frowned upon to slow it down in post-processing, meaning the animators most likely, now I could be wrong, most likely they animated this in slow motion. Like they just stretched out like all their keys, or like they timed it so it looks like slow motion, and they didn't actually slow down the clip because that could create some problems. So okay, so I'm just gonna talk about this. So when it speeds up, the motion blur picks up again. You see how it's like clear when she's traveling very slowly, but then as she speeds up, as the animation speeds up, everything, all the motion blur starts picking up again. Now that could be done in post, but what most likely happen is it goes based off character IDs. So in post processing, the motion blur usually comes in, unless you manually put it in, it usually comes in when something's moving really fast. So if this character was moving at the regular speed throughout the entire time, if it was the same speed, if the animator animated the exact same speed, and then they put it in post processing, and that's when they slowed it down, the character would still be blurred all throughout. So what I'm assuming happened is the character they animated slowly up until here. Same like with everything else too. Everything else looks clear, but then they went back to real-time animating, and that's when the motion blur picks up, because that's when they start speeding up. Otherwise, the whole thing would be, if it was one speed, if it was all fast and they slowed it down in post, it would all be blurry. So another cool thing to keep in mind when you're animating jumps, or honestly any sort of motion in animation, is the human body automatically creates arcs. And so here, when you do a jump, you always want to have an arc to your jump, a proper arc. And here we can, let me make this bigger. And so if you guys follow her movement, she created an arc from here to here. So we have an arc that sort of looks like this. And another thing is that it's not just the hip that you want to have an arc on, it's pretty much everything. And so if you notice the arm also arcs this way. So let's say it's here first, then 5, like I don't know, 10 frames later it's here, and so it creates sort of an arc this way. Disregard this line right here. And so everything with the character is moving to create some sort of arc. I'm sure if we track the head too, yeah, so if we track the head, let's say it's here, then it's here, it creates an arc. Like everything's just every limb, every part of the body, every part of Vi's essence is creating an arc. And that's actually really, really important in animation. And I think that's about it. I think that's about what I could talk about. The rest of it's amazing. You could take apart any of this. It's all really, really cool. It's all amazing. But those are some of the things that stood out to me, some of the highlights that I put in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, hit the sub button, stay notified of future videos. And if you're interested in 3D animation, this whole channel is about 3D animation. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're interested in 3D animation, just take a look at some of the videos, see if it's something you'd like. If you do, then you better subscribe. So with that out of the way, I just want to thank my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your support. Happy animating, and I will see you guys in the next video.